The absurdity of the modern condition, exposed by Dr. Jordan Peterson, followed up on by Dave Rubin, and now expanded upon by Elon Musk. Elon Musk is chiming in on Jordan Peterson getting suspended from Twitter over referring to Elliot Page as Ellen Page. Dave Rubin then said what happened to Jordan Peterson, but made the mistake of saying Ellen Page. Elon Musk has chimed in saying Twitter has gone way too far. We all sit patiently, waiting for Elon Musk to acquire Twitter. It's been a few months now. Maybe it will happen. Maybe it won't. I read somewhere that it was going to be maybe either August or perhaps October. Who knows? Perhaps Elon will come in and be like, yo, it's time to end this. But boy, has Jordan Peterson actually and accidentally, or maybe inadvertently, exposed the absurdity that is Twitter's rules on dead naming and all of that stuff. So what was Jordan Peterson really suspended for? Maybe he said something mean. But then the question is, why was Dave Rubin suspended? Because he told you that someone else said something mean, and Elon Musk comes out, joins the fray. Doesn't do a whole lot. I think the story is really, really important because there's more than just this story about Jordan Peterson getting suspended. There's also the aftermath. From BuzzFeed News, Twitter allowed Elliot Page's dead name to trend in spite of its hateful conduct policy. The actor's dead name was listed under the site's trending tab for at least 45 minutes. BuzzFeed reached out to Twitter and said, why is Ellen Page trending? And they said, we'll delete it. And think about how incredible that is and the message that sends. So I've decided moron, pim tool, stupid, dumbass, those are among my dead names because, well, people used to call me those. And if you call me that, well, you're dead naming me. Here's the point I'm bringing up. Elon Musk is correct in that they've gone too far. We don't need him to say that. But this idea that you can go on Twitter and call someone a dumbass, like a direct insult, you can swear at them, call them a mother effer or, a bunch of other things. Basically, you can use words that you can't say on TV, as George Carlin described it, and that's totally fine. But say a name that someone doesn't want to hear, and you will be suspended for it. Now, isn't that patently absurd? We've got some other news in this vein as well. Macy Gray is backtracking. Bette Midler's trying to backtrack. You see, these people are all cowards. And that's why I say good for Jordan Peterson saying, I am not taking this down. I would rather die. Jordan Peterson's correct. Here's the story from Newsweek. Elon Musk slams Jordan Peterson Twitter suspension. Outspoken author and psychologist Peterson was suspended for violating the platform's rules for a tweet that dead-named transgender actor Elliot Page. Peterson has since said he'd rather die than delete the tweet. Early on Tuesday, Musk, who was often outspoken on a number of issues, was dragged into the debate when asked by a user what they thought. And here's the tweet. This Doge account with flying dollar bills says, by the way, did you see that JBP was recently banned from the Bird app? Strange times. And he posts an image of ya boy Socrates saying, I don't know, man. I'm beginning to think that maybe the ruling elite aren't as wise as they claim to be. And then it says, learn more about how Socrates is corrupting the youth of Athens. Brilliant. Musk responded, yeah, they're going way too far in squashing dissenting opinions. Yeah, Elon, it's way beyond that. It's not squashing dissenting opinions. Jordan Peterson didn't know he did anything wrong. Dave Rubin also did not know he did anything wrong. Now imagine this. You're a regular person. You go on Twitter and say something like, I am no fan of Ellen Page. I think her acting is terrible. And they say, you are negatively commenting and harassing, you banned. And you're like, for what? What did I do? Isn't that creepy? I suppose this is how they attempt to homogenize everything. But I also want to point out this thing, too. Like, I feel bad for Elliot Page here. I genuinely do. Imagine you are minding your own business and you come out and you're like, hey, guys, from now on, I'd prefer it if you referred to me as Bill. And people are like, okay, Bill, whatever you say, man, literally don't care. And then someone online who didn't get the memo is just like, I'm not a fan of Bobby. And so Twitter's like, let's make everything about Elliot Page right now to drum up as much hate and anger directed at this person as possible. Bravo, Twitter. This is what's funny about the BuzzFeed story. Twitter allowed Elliot Page's dead name to trend in spite of its hateful conduct policy. BuzzFeed, you're making it worse. You are all making it worse. Nobody cares about the individual. What's happened here is the story. And this is what I was thinking about. I was like, yo, you can't tell me I can't say a name. Did you know there are many Ellen Pages in the world? There are many of them. In fact, I decided to search on Facebook and LinkedIn and Google for people named Ellen Page. There are a lot of them. So when I'm talking about Ellen Page, who am I really talking about? Am I talking about the orthodontist from Dubuque? Am I talking about the accounts specialist from Omaha? Ellen Page is not a particularly unique name. Page is a common last name. Ellen is a common first name. It's as if they think the only Ellen Page that exists is Elliot Page, or was now the actor formerly known as Ellen Page. You get my point. This is what's absolutely insane about this. It's the same with other Voldemorts we've had in the past. What if I were to come out? What if I named? So here's something. I'm like, Twitter's telling me I can't say Ellen Page. What if I'm not talking about Elliot Page? What if I'm legit talking about the account specialist from Omaha? What if I said Helen Page, right? This is a story that I saw about a teacher who was doing inappropriate things with children named Helen Page. Uh-oh, is that dangerously close? This is insane. Obviously, I'm not talking about the actor. I'm talking about somebody else. Twitter removes the trend. What if, here's what I think is really funny. Let's say you're like a softball player named Ellen Page. And freshman year of college, and you break some record or something, you know, and then all of a sudden Ellen Page is trending. And everyone's just like, no. Elliot Page has decided that none of you are allowed to say Ellen Page, so Twitter takes down your name. Isn't that crazy? And what if I decide to, I don't know, what if I have a friend named Ellen Page, and I want to talk about my friend? Now I'm not allowed to say this person's name. This is insanity. Twitter is making it worse. Isn't this the perfect example of why Twitter's policies must stop? Reinstate Peterson. I think Rubin's still suspended. Bring him back. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Look at this. All right, let's read from BuzzFeed. Elliot Page's dead name appeared as a trending topic on Twitter on Tuesday, violating the site's own policy on hateful conduct. The Umbrella Academy actor's dead name, the name he used before coming out as trans, was listed under the site's trending tab for at least 45 minutes. And what if it was about a different Ellen Page? What if, what if it was about somebody else? Does that matter? That's the insane thing here. According to Twitter's hateful conduct policy, blah, 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 you can't use it to degrade and dehumanize. Here's the thing. Were people saying Ellen Page to dehumanize Elliot Page, or were they just saying a name? You psychotic morons. That's why I say I feel bad for Elliot Page, who's probably just minding their own business, trying to do their thing. And all of a sudden now there's a news cycle, not even about Elliot Page, but kind of, all because Twitter decided to put this front and center. If Twitter ignored Jordan Peterson, there'd be no news cycle here. And now it's growing and getting crazier and crazier. Think about how insane that is. I think Twitter actively is trying to cause harm to people. I genuinely believe so. You know why? You take a look at policies like this, where they ban Peterson and Rubin, and now people are like, ban Ben Shapiro next. It's like, oh, yeah. Make Elliot Page that much more in the news. This is what they do. When someone posts death threats, we see it all the time. Twitter's like, we're not taking that down. It's happened to me. It's happened to many other people on the left and the right. And I've had people post my address. So sorry, we're not taking that down. It's really amazing. Okay. I think it's because Twitter actively wants people to be at each other's throats. I genuinely do. Because there's no way, after all these years, after everything I've said to the people at Twitter, everything in the news, that Twitter is just accidentally fanning the flames and pouring gasoline on a fire. I can only assume it's intentional. Here we go. After BuzzFeed News contacted a Twitter spokesman, Page's dead name no longer appeared to be trending. Twitter spokesman Trenton Kennedy confirmed the site had removed it as a trending topic. Trenton Kennedy, you psychotic moron. Congratulations on bringing more hate and anger towards Elliot Page, who quite literally has nothing to do with this story. Someone else talked about Elliot Page. You took action, and now everything is focused on Elliot Page. That is mind-numbingly idiotic. Now, Jordan Peterson made a video, got like 1 million views. Then I made a video, got several 100,000 views. Now I'm making another video. Bravo. Bravo. This is what they do. They do it on purpose. It's like they want everyone to just be as angry as possible. Well, here we are in the absurdity of the modern condition. From the Daily Mail. Macy Gray backtracks statement that changing your parts doesn't make you a woman that she made in No Holds Barred Piers Morgan interview and now says it was grossly misunderstood. Oh, it's laughable, you spineless and pathetic cowards. Singer Macy Gray has walked back her statement. Oh, no. Oh, Bette Midler did, too. Bette Midler responds to backlash over trans-inclusive language erasing women. This is funny because the other night we had Mary Morgan of Pop Culture Crisis on Timcast IRL. And we were talking about this, too. I think this was in the after-hour session over at timcast.com. Head over to timcast.com, become a member to watch the exclusive after-hours Timcast IRL show. We got more shows coming. Mary was like, don't praise Bette Midler and Macy Gray. Macy Gray already deleted the tweets, and she's going to walk this back. Well, Mary, you are correct. I mean, a lot of people thought this was going to happen. It's funny. Macy Gray tried to backtrack on her statement that changing your parts doesn't make you a woman by tweeting that her comment was grossly misunderstood. No, it wasn't. You're just a loser. You're a spineless loser. This is what it's all about. Macy Gray says, I got nothing but love for the LGBT plus and transgender communities. I've been a supporter since day one and never a fake one. My statement on Piers Morgan was grossly misunderstood. I respect everyone's right to be whatever they want to be. But she said, truth hurts. India Willoughby says, as for Macy, how to kill what's left of your career. She said, truth hurts. It's funny. Macy Gray for a while was standing up saying truth hurts, and then she just caved. How sad. She said, I wasn't defining trans women, just women, because I know what it means to be one. I don't know what it means to be a trans woman, and I never said I did, but that goes both ways. Apparently, she said something like, what? If you want me to call you a her, I will, because that's what you want, but that doesn't make you a woman just because I call you a her and just because you got surgery. She says, I know, I would say a human, what is a woman? A human being with boobs. How about you start there and a vagina? Morgan then added, blah, blah, blah. I totally agree. If you want me to call her her, great, we get it. So apparently she came out and said something like, woman is a title. You know, she wanted to say a woman goes through a completely unique experience, and surgery and finding yourself doesn't change that. Being a little girl is a whole epic book, you know? You can't have that just because you want to be a woman. Wow. When Piers pointed out that Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling had been criticized for it, Gray said, but it's the truth. I don't think you should be called transphobic just because you don't agree. There's a lot of judgment and throwing stones at people for saying what it is. However, social media users were quick to brand the singer a TERF. Oh, no. And so she came out and was like, no, it's like an earned thing. What was she saying? She received backlash for her comments on the flag and whatever. She basically came out and said that, you know, nobody's just a woman. A young girl isn't a woman. It has to be earned or something like that. It's kind of a weird, nonsensical backtrack because there's no real way to backtrack from what she said. You can't. She outright said it. Now she's getting flack and she's trying to. So she's trying to say that you earn the title or something. It's ridiculous nonsense. Today's a good day, says J.K. Rowling, to buy her whole back catalog. Well, Bette Midler came out and she's like, I didn't mean it. I just read the New York Times. Yo, what is wrong with these people? This story right here shows you the stupidity and the vapid reality of these celebrities. Bette Midler, she tweeted, women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people or menstruators. And even people with vaginas, don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you, the tweet continued. So a bunch of people responded. Someone says, as a woman without a uterus, I support inclusive language to normalize that trans men need reproductive health care. 2, 100%. It's not trans people who are taking away my right to bodily autonomy. Bodily anatomy? Do you mean autonomy? We are all fighting the same fight. Don't do this, Bette. Birthing people is language used to make sure we don't exclude trans comrades. It doesn't erase women at all. Several of the more extreme comments have compared the 76-year-old Hocus Pocus star to being a TERF. Heavens. She said in her response, "People of the world, my tweet about women was a response to this fascinating and well-written piece in the New York Times on July 3rd. There was no intention of anything exclusionary or transphobic in what I said. It wasn't about that." Except that's literally what the New York Times was saying. Midler's tweet seemingly came in response to the SCOTUS decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. That's right. She was allowed to make the tweet in the context of the far right and the far left. I love this. The New York Times article reads, "The far right and far left agree on one thing: women don't count." Amazing. Retweeting an opinion piece from the New York Times, the Beaches Star wrote, okay, so we read that one. It's amazing. B. Lee says, another over-the-hill has-been like Deborah Messing trying to stay relevant with her rants. Yeah, sure. I'll tell you what this is. Bette Midler has no idea what's going on. None whatsoever. Our culture is fractured and confused. Celebrities are really dumb. That's it. They're really, really dumb. Jordan Peterson, when he says Ellen Page and gets suspended, he says, "Screw off, I'd rather die." He just comes out and says it. I'm not changing my mind for you weirdos, to creepos complaining. Bette Midler says, "I will say whatever you tell me." It's like Anakin Skywalker dropping to his knees. "I will do whatever you say." Oh, don't you love those pop culture references? Yeah, well, these are celebrities. And this is what you get. These people never had any real thoughts. They are just marketing agents. That's what they are. What is the purpose of a celebrity? To sell you a product. Why is it that a movie comes out and they'll be like, "Celebrity in movie"? Because people will be like, "Oh, celebrity in movie." That's a marketing ploy. Then they'll have celebrity come out with celebrity at, and they'll be like, "We're dating and now our names are the same name." It's like you'll get some guy named John and some woman named Mary, and they'll be like, "Jerry." Don't you love, or Mon? They combine their names. You know, it's Jennifer. No, it was Benifer. That's what it was. Benifer. Ben Affleck and J-Lo was Benifer. That's just so stupid. But this is what they are. Celebrities do fake relationships to generate attention, and that's been the game for a long time. Our culture has been sick for a long time, and now something is changing. The internet is giving the rise to people of principle to be prominent influencers. It used to be that, look, if you were a big corporation, if you were a movie, you'd be like, "We want a celebrity, someone who commands attention but is not controversial," because controversy, it's bad for business. That's how it used to be. But now controversy is the name of the game. There's a famous line, perhaps it's apocryphal, that Michael Jordan said something like, "Conservatives buy shoes too." And apparently he didn't really say it, but someone's claiming he did. It was hearsay, and he probably did say it. Someone was like, "Hey, why don't you speak up about this thing?" It's like, "Hey, man, conservatives buy shoes too." This country used to have people who are like, "I don't want to offend half the country." They're fans. Now it's people being like, "Don't know, don't care. Tell me what to say and I will say it." And you get confused responses like this. Here's the best part. The news articles about Bette Midler saying what she said will remain forever. The news articles of her walking it back will remain forever. So you see this interesting internet phenomenon. Someone's going to be like, 10 years from now, "Remember when Bette Midler was a bigot?" And they'll share it. Someone else will go, "Remember when Bette Midler stood up for trans rights?" And they'll share a different article. And it's like, how do you track for chronology when you have all of this spattering of news and you don't know about what came after? This is a really important point. A news story might come out in 2018 where it's like, Donald Trump does a backflip. And if you don't know that a year later he did a front flip, you would just think that's who Donald Trump is. So how do you find out about news after the fact? There are a lot of stories I know about and I reference, and I have to do update fact checks on them when I reference them before doing these videos. So I'll often Google search to make sure. But there'll be a story and it'll be like, new law passed about smoking in a building. And then if I reference it on the show and say something like, "And there was that law that was passed, remember where they said you can't smoke in buildings?" Then someone will go, "Actually, that was repealed last month or 2 days ago." And I'm like, really? If you don't see the latest updated news, you could be wrong. And people, they believe incorrect things. So here's where we are. I'll say it again. It's insane to me that Elliot Page, I mean no ill will towards, but they did this to your name, and now this is the hill to die in, apparently. Will you say Ellen Page? What if you're not even talking about What if you're not even talking about the actor? That's the crazy thing. It is now any reference to Ellen Page or anything similar is a direct reference to the actor. No longer, and I'll put it this way too, Elliot Page's claim to fame and name is no longer about acting or being in shows or movies. It is only about being trans and dead naming. That's it. If you Google search Ellen Page and look at the history archive, it's like Emmy nominations or like BAFTA awards or whatever, just like ceremonies, movies, awards, accomplishments. But if you look at the modern news, it's all just dead name, trans, dead name, even Umbrella Academy. Season 3, the news is all Elliot Page is trans. That's it. That's the news. Congratulations. No longer is it about accomplishment. It is about the controversy over your name. That's how stupid everything has become. Whatever, man. I don't care about... And I want to say something, too. I've not watched the latest season of Umbrella Academy, but to me, it's really strange that they made the character trans. Okay, Elliot Page, transgender, in the show Umbrella Academy, the character, Victor, is not Ellen Page or Elliot Page. Why did they have to make the character trans? It's as if it makes no sense. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about that on Pop Culture Crisis or something. Check out Pop Culture Crisis on YouTube. Maybe we'll talk about there. I'm going to leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 1 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you all then.